Alright, in this video I'm going to show you how to do multi-view orthographic projection. Every object has 6 sides. We've discussed this, but we're only going to draw 3 of them. So we draw the front view, or your frontal plane. Think of it as like you're standing in front of something and you see the front of it, front of your face, etc. Then you have what is like your top plane, which is your horizontal. Again, if you're looking down on top, what do we see? And then your right side view, which is going to be the perpendicular, the vertical plane. Now, we're going to start off by drawing the views. I've taken paper and I've taped it down so that this line here, that first horizontal line, is lined up with the edge of my parallel arm. You can use a T-square, you can use a drafting arm, doesn't really matter. You just want to use one of the straight edges to give you a straight edge here. And then I'm going to get my 45-degree triangle. The reason I'm going to use it for this work is because here in a minute when I do the miter line here, the 45-degree triangle is the best one for that. Step 1 is we're going to do all of our construction lines, and they're going to be very bright. I'm using the 0.7 lead. Remember, use 0.5 if you can't draw 0.7 lightly. And all I'm going to do right now is make sure that I've projected every single thing that I see here up. I'm not worried about anything other than projecting it up right now. So, take my marker so you can see a little better. I projected this one, that one, that one, that one, and that one. So I projected those lines up so that I could see them. Alright, next I want to go ahead and finish drawing pretty much my front view here, and I'm going to look at my isometric view here, my pictorial view, and see what it looks like. So I know if I'm looking at the front of this object, I'm standing here and I'm looking at it, I'm going to see that side right here, and then I'm going to see the little hump part right there. So that's represented here. So I'm going to see the little outline here. And I'm looking at this and I notice and I realize that this is an arc, this is a curve, etc. So you can get your arc, get your compass. To find your compass, you have to find your center mark. Or if you have a circle template, you can use that too. Sometimes you have one that'll fit in. See, that's a little too big. I should have a smaller one in here somewhere. There we are. Since this enables me to draw that arc perfectly in there and help me find my center points here, because I know from there to there should put me at the center of the object. So there's that top arc part. It gives me those 2 points on that, just so if I can center, because you need to know where the center of the object is if you're going to draw it using a compass. So drawing that, I would need to find the center. After I find the center, take my compass, needle on one side, here, arc here, draw the arc. I repeat the process for drawing the inside circle. And this is one of those times when these drafting boards aren't necessarily our friends, because they don't have the green, orange, blue, whatever color mat underneath that allows you to really stick that needle in there and have it stay in place. So there's the circle. There's my circle. There's the top of it. Draw my 2 horizontal lines. Remember, these visible object lines, the outline of the object should be the darkest line you see on here. So it should really stand out. Now next, I'm looking at this object and I can see that there's a hole here and here that runs down, but I can't see the hole. I just know it's there, but I can't see it. So when I'm looking at the front view, you can't see that, but it's there. So this is where our hidden lines are going to come in. So again, I'm going to project those hidden lines down, because I know, but looking at the picture, it looks like it's about the same size as that hole there. So I'm going to have that there. I'm going to go ahead and project those center lines over so I have them. So I'm going to have one hidden line here, and then I know I'm going to have another one over here. It doesn't really tell you exactly what size it is, but we do want to make sure that they stay the same size. So you can use your divider or you can use your compass, either one. And just come over here and figure out where you think it's going to go. Because if you're not given a dimension at this point, it's just you need to make it look proportional, make it look correct. So there's those hidden lines. Dash, 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 dash. And then I know that's the center. Now, oops, get the camera back at an angle. I'm gonna go ahead and find that center mark too. Use my compass, find the measurement. Just transfer here, because I know the center line goes here. Okay, so there's my hidden lines. Next, I have my center points, my center lines I need to draw here. Remember, it's like the scope on a gun that you're going to line in on exactly what you're taking a shot of. Okay, so there's our front view. Now let's draw the top view.
When are you leaving to go to San Antonio?
Okay, so now we've gotten our front view, so that frontal plane. Now we want to get the top or the horizontal plane. Now I'm looking here at the object again, at the isometric, and I stand here and I'm looking down. What do I see? Well, I see the flat edge here for the arc, and then I see the body of the curved part here. So we're going to go do that. Now I'm just going to pick a thickness for it. It's not necessarily the importance of the thickness. What matters is that the same thickness is used throughout. So I'm going to take and I'm going to select about right here. Again, lightly draw it, and I'm not darkening it, and I lightly draw it in there. Now I need to go back and darken in where it goes. So what I do is I follow this line up, and where it hits gives me those 2 points right here. I follow this line up. 2 points, 2 points. So that's how I'm finding those. Same thing for my hidden lines, because when I'm looking down on the top of it, now I can see those 2 circles, but I can't see the circle going through it. So let's go ahead and draw just that part real quick. I'm going to darken that part in. Hidden line, hidden line, hidden line, and then I have a center line going through it. Right now I'm just going to darken that part in. Alright, so now I need to find, from looking at the top view, I need to be able to draw those 2 circles and this curved arc here, correct? So, again, we're going to pick a spot where we think is going to be about right. I'm going to say it about right there. For my center point for my circles. Find that radius again. Come up here to where those center points meet. And draw a circle. Instead, I'm going to use my template so it stops moving around on me. Now, the circles up here are going to be the same exact size as the circle that we used for here and here. I'm just using my template because it's easier. You can use your compass. You just find your center points. So I picked my center point. Here's one center point. Here's the other center point because this lines up to our hidden lines. And I'll line that up on the center lines. Line it up on the center lines for this one over here. And it was quickly able to give me those 2 circles. So I have my circles now. Now I need the arc for this view here. 7/8 will work. See here on my template, 7/8, 5/16, so forth. I could even do 1 if I wanted to, but that just doesn't look right to me. Again, it's not really mattering what size this is so long as it's the same size you use throughout. So I'm going to say that's my curved part right there for that corner. All right, so then I go back and darken in my object lines. And I place my center lines. Now I need to get that right side view, or the vertical plane. Now, there's a couple ways you can do this. You can transfer it using your divider. So I could come here and go, okay, well, I know that this is the depth that we used for this part of it, so I would transfer that over here. So I could use it with my dividers. I could transfer it over, mark it. Could do the same thing using a compass. Sometimes students like to use that. Find the measurement. Come over here and mark it. These steps all work. We're using something simple like this. I'm going to use the miter method. So I'm going to bring this up to here where that meets. Bring this edge of it over here where it meets. It's going to meet right there. The two meet. Take my 45, line it up. Draw it over. The way the miter line works when we're transferring depths is that you bring it over. So we project it over again. Oh, using the wrong one. That would be why. 0.7, not the 0.9. Bring it over. Bring it over. Bring it over. Bring it over. So you bring all those over to the miter line. Once they hit the miter line, you line them up, you bring them down. So you just bring them straight down. Again, draw everything really lightly. Okay, so let's start with the body. I know if I'm standing here looking at it, I see a rectangular piece here, and then I see the rectangular piece there for the, lack of a better word, the little hump piece. So I'm going to project those lines over. So I'm going to look at it and go, okay, what do I see? Well, I see, to start with, this rectangular piece and that rectangular piece. So I know I see that. And I know I see the top of that rectangular piece. So I'm trying to make it a little darker so you can see. So I know I see that. Now again, I have circles that I can't see, but they're there, therefore the hidden lines. And so I drew that hidden line over and drew it down. Same thing with this top here. Over, hits the miter line, pull it down. Center line, same thing. Center line over, or hit your miter. Center line down. The one I'm missing is I'm still missing the lines for the whole hair, just going through the little hump part. And you might start to finally understand why I say you draw everything lightly and then you go back and darken it in. Or hopefully, I'm hoping you start to see now why I say that. Because now, hidden line, center line. And so there's the three views of the pictorial object for this one.